This will be a test of the Sony HDR-CX900 1080p camcorder. You'll be listening to me on the Sony Companion wireless microphone with a power plug-in phantom-powered lavalier microphone. While I'm setting up the camera here, I just want to let you know this is going to be 1080p, 30 frames per second x AVC-S. And for this test, I have placed a cheap little polarizing filter on to make things look a little better. It's only about $6, and I think it makes a big difference. Takes away a lot of that glare. So we're going to wait for the sun to come out, and we're going to be testing out the clear image zoom capability. We'll try some rolling shutter and some other things. Well, since the sun isn't going to want to cooperate here, so we'll go ahead and start some testing here. This is negative 3 dB gain, 1/60th of a second shutter speed, cinema gamma on, neutral density off, and we're going to try the clear image zoom here. And I'll go ahead and back it out of clear image zoom, see if we can figure out where it starts. Okay, that's about your normal zoom right there. That's basically your 2x. It's another shot, full clear image zoom, maximum telephoto. And I'll go ahead and focus on the tree back there. Not too much depth of field. Now I'm going to show you some generic footage here. We'll play with the Polarizer filter, just because I think it's pretty cool. As you can see there in the curb and the grass, you can actually kind of level out some exposure on this. And I am saying in the bright sunlight here, I am having a little bit of a hard time seeing this viewfinder, or seeing this LCD panel. It's kind of hard to judge exposure. And I know this was supposed to be a clear image zoom test and some other stuff, but I just really want to show off this polarizing filter. Just look at that difference there. It's like some $6, I don't know who makes this thing. Bauer got from B&H. I don't know, it was like $6 or something like that, I think. It was cheap, and it really makes a big difference. Let's try another test of the clear image zoom here. That's pretty much without it. And let's turn it on. This thing in focus. Play with a polarized filter. And again, this is really hard to judge exposure here. I don't use the zebras because if you've seen the zebras on the Sonys, they're just, they're huge. I can't use them. This is full telephoto clear image zoom. Let me kick on the neutral density filter so you can see we're on 0 right now. So there's 1, there's 2, there's 3. Obviously a big difference. So we'll just leave that on 0, and I'll close the iris a little bit. Oh, there again you see the polarized filter. And if you're wondering why this video is so shaky, I'm using a fancier, what is this, FC02H tripod head. It's a very small head, and it's not exactly the tightest little package. And here's another, this is a full clear image zoom, full telephoto, and just hoping to see how we can get a high contrast scene here. white truck in the dark and see how well it handles that. And these clouds are actually working out for testing the high contrast here, so we'll go ahead and play with that. Obviously I've got the neutral density, the polarizing filter, and as you can see, you can really play with the ground here. And yeah, this is a very difficult scene to shoot on this LCD just because of the high contrast here. What is that? Oh. We appear to have a what is it? We appear to have a B-17 flying overhead. So there's clear image zoom on that. Don't ask me why there's a B-17 flying over me right now. Seeing how the autofocus is working here. I don't know why, but I'm getting a little hungry right now. Might have something to do with the sale at Domino's. So let's try a little depth of field real quick. I'll just zoom in on slowly. The zoom is unbelievably slow. All right, so I'm a manual focus here. We'll focus on Wendy. All right, so there's a tree branch in front of it. And I have to say the focus is very smooth on this. Even though the tripod's really shaky, I can still get relatively smooth rack focusing here. And this is with the neutral density 1 on to give us a little wider aperture. Let's try it with a smaller aperture. Okay, this is neutral density 1 off. We're at I don't know, like F9 here, so obviously not as much depth of field. So here's a little depth of field on wide angle stuff right in front of me. I'm on neutral density 1, f2.8, negative 3 dB, and I put it to 1/25th shutter speed just so I could keep that maximum aperture. And let me rotate the neutral density filter here. And again, I think this is like one of the greatest things I got for this. If you're shooting during the daytime, you know, obviously if you're looking at this kind of shot, you're going to want to have to, you know, close your iris or, you know, something like that, and you might lose that depth of field. But you put this on, you just rotate it, and it brings down some of those extremely bright things. Let me rack focus out to the background here. So that's pretty good depth of field for middle of the day, wide angle, in the bright sunlight. And it's a very quick turn of the dial, just about 20 millimeters takes you from right in front of you to in the background there. Here's some more wide angle depth of field. Just a rack focus between the background there. Not as visible in this shot, but still I think it's enough to be noticeable. And let me just rotate the polarizing filter. Oh, it looks so nice, doesn't it? That really affects exposure during the day. And here's some more wide angle depth of field. And let me just bring down the parking lot here with the polarizing filter. Oh, looks so much better. I'll just rack focus back and forth here so you can see the difference. And again, this is just an ever so slight turn to rack focus like this. So, and the LCD is providing enough sharpness where I don't have to use the peaking, which I really don't like on this camera anyway. Okay, continue on with the depth of field testing here. Again, I'm very pleased with the ability to manually focus this thing just using the LCD, even in, not that bright right now, but still I can see it. Now I'm zoomed in a little here and it's taking a little further turns of the dial, but still it's not really that hard. You can give you a quick, fast rack focusing back and forth between this, and it's kind of easy to hit your spots. It's not really that difficult, so I'm really happy with this viewfinder. So here's a shot about 50% into the clear image zoom, and we're at f4 with the neutral density filter on. Let's see how that looks. It's a little harder on rack focusing. I had to turn almost a full turn, but still. That's at f4, and just to give you an idea here, that's the distance. Again, a really slow zoom. Here's another depth of field test. Let me just play with the exposure here. I like it like that. All right. What the hell? Hold on. I don't know why we have a B-17 that keeps flying over, but... Depth of field not too noticeable here. This is 2.8. Here's another f2.8 test, and again, I feel like I'm advertising polarizing filters here, but seriously, I mean, how could you not? I mean, just look at that difference. That's just turning the polarized filter. Cheap B&H Bauer polarizing filter. All right, let's do some rack focusing. And one more last test here before I try out the 16:9 incorporated EXII wide-angle converter. This is the limit of the regular zoom. Let me just dial the polarizing filter. My God, I'm in love with this thing. All right, so that's not full digital zoom, but still that's digital zoom. And I think I'm just trying to sell the polarizing filter right now, because that's just, I'm finding it just too helpful to, I mean, we're talking like a stop or two, taking a stop or two of exposure off of separate items within each shot. So it's obviously a big deal. You can go high contrast, or you can dial in a little sky there. Now here's a test I've been looking forward to. This is the 16:9 EXII wide-angle converter. It's got an 82mm rear thread, which I have put a step, what is it, step up, step down, I don't know, one of those. Put a ring on. I think I'm gonna marry it. I just wanted to see how the clarity looked, and pardon me here while I adjust with the bright sun coming out. But I've been pretty happy with this on how it looked at night. It doesn't seem to have that much corner distortion as it did on some other cameras that I tested it on. Let's see how it looks when we zoom in on something. Slowly zoom in on something. All right, that's the full clear image zoom. I'll put it on auto iris here just to make things simpler for me in the sun on my LCD. Let's try something else with a lot of detail and see how it handles it. So that's full clear image zoom through the zoom through converter. Let's see if I can play with the neutral density or the polarizer. No difference there. Now just a few more test shots with the wide angle. And just for fun here, let's see how the wide angle handles in close quarters. And I'm playing around with the shutter speed there to keep the iris wide open. We're still on negative 3 dB through this whole thing. So that's pretty good. And you can see in the corners there's no vignetted thing. No dark corners. And looks pretty nice. And just one final shot here with the wide angle, showing my crappy car. I'm having a bit of trouble figuring out exposure with the LCD being exposed to sunlight, so maybe I'll need a hood or something like that. And finally, this is the tiny little fancier F270A tripod head, which I put on a set of Vinton carbon fiber sticks with a Manfrotto 75mm ball adapter. This tripod head really sucks. You can't, if you spin it, it loosens the bowl. So it's way too tight. I'll have a review on that in another YouTube video. Oh, we'll play with some depth of field here real quick. That looks nice. And again, this is f2.8. And SteadyShot is on. And one thing I like about this camera is you can move around and got enough finger dexterity. I've got one finger, my middle finger focusing, and my index finger can play with the dial for whatever I have that adjusted to, iris or gain or whatever. So I'm gonna have to practice with this. I've only had this camera a day or two. And I'm basically touching the tripod head right now, so I still can focus even closer. And one final addition here, I know there have been some requests for seeing what the SteadyShot looks like in low light. I don't have any low light right now, so I'll just walk around here, and it's just walking around it wide. If I run, that's running around. Okay, let's try some zooming in while I do this. Okay, I'm zoomed in at maximum regular zoom. I'm just saying I want to walk up to something. It's not that bad. One thing I had a problem with on my X920 was in panning, it would seem to start and stop along the way, kind of like a drunk guy taking a DUI test. So let's just try some handheld real quick. God, the zoom is so slow. So that's maximum clear image zoom handheld.